That's asking me.
Wow.
You remind me saying that? What's my cousin name? Josh Carter.
Yeah.
I'm like,
You guys want to come over here?
we got to gather over here, everyone.
I'll give you a little bit of knowledge and then I'll let you guys take some pictures. So, as I said earlier, we are migratory people. So this is an example of a summer village, which would be on the coastline of either an ocean or sometimes we camp near estuaries. In the summertime, it wasn't all about relaxing and fun and games because we knew that the winter was right around the corner. And since you guys go to Yukon, I know, even if you weren't before, you're familiar with the winters in Connecticut. They're brutal. The snow comes down and there's barely any food anywhere. It's hard to farm anything if you were going to attempt to do that. So we planned for that. What we have here is a Three Sisters garden. Now, if anybody gardens or has driven by the farmlands here, you'll notice that this is not the typical way that you see people farm nowadays. Nowadays they plant in long rows. This way is actually more beneficial for growing crops. You'll get larger crops when you plant it this way. And we actually have a Three Sisters garden on the roof of this exhibit here, an actual one. And it looks just like this, literally. The plants are growing this big. We call it the Three Sisters because the crops that we plant them with each other because they help each other grow. So what we plant first is the corn, which is one of the first sisters. Corn takes a lot of nitrogen out of the soil when it's planted, but it also provides a long stalk. So what we do is we plant the corn first, and then we plant beans. Beans require something to kind of like grow on. They wrap themselves around to get to the sun, but they also replenish the nitrogen in the soil that the corn would take from it. If you look at the bottom, the third sister would be squash. Squash provides these big leaves here that would shade the ground and keep it moist so that the corn and the beans can grow. We like to say that the sunflower is the fourth sister because we tended to plant them in the gardens as well as the corn, bean, and squash. If you look at this young woman up here, each person in the community had a job. Sometimes your name would even be based on your skill set or what you were good at doing. Wow.
Each person in the community provided that skill to help enrich the community and help to be beneficial for everyone else. So crows here, they love to eat corn. And right now this is like heaven for them because we have corn just laying out in the sun here. So her job would be to protect the garden. She's going to be acting as a real life scarecrow. Now we believe that crows were sacred, so she's not actually trying to harm the crow as much as she's trying to scare it. The legend is, what I was told from my elders, is that when we migrated towards this area after the ice started to melt and we all started to disperse, we migrated towards this area, we forgot to bring corn with us. So what we did was pray to the Creator to help give us corn. And what the crow did was fly all the way over to the west coast, grab some corn, and then flew it all the way back here for us so that we were able to plant it and have corn with us over here. So we believe that the crow is very sacred, even though he is annoying. So we're trying to get rid of him, but not trying to kill him. So that's what we're doing here. This pit here would be a way to preserve food. So like I said, we're planning ahead for the winter. What we would do is we would take the corn, hang it in the weetus, which you'll get a chance to see to dry it out. Once it's dry, we would take the jawbone of a deer, scrape the corn off of the cob, and then plant it in these big holes. We would dig the hole and line it with grass, and then fill it up and then cover it with a fire pit. Now the reason we would do that is one, to keep some of the animals. If you guys notice here, we have a rabbit. If we just buried it, he would go over there, dig it all up and be like, yeah, I found corn. So what we do to keep him away is we put the fire pit over it, we'd light it, and that would keep the corn dry as well as keep the animals away from it as well. So that was one of the ways that we helped to plan for the winter. Also, if you notice, she's picking the crops and she's holding them up to the sky. That's to give thanks to the Creator for providing us garden for us, for providing the crops that came through the harvest. So we believed in giving thanks for everything that we got. We never in any way were selfish or thinking that, oh, this is the land, we just deserve this is why it's here. No, we knew that everything that we got came from someone else, the Creator, and we thanked Him for those things. So that was what she's doing here. You want to head back towards the estuary?